All right, what do we got next here? Oh, I got some Cuphead. Actually, I put Cuphead up here because it actually came from a Patreon request about a month and a half ago. And I remember going, oh, yeah, I'll get that in the next one. Then I realized I hadn't. And as a matter of fact, I come to think of it, I have never done a Cuphead. I looked it up on my RPGs channel. And I was like, wait a minute, have I never not done a Cuphead? I remember seeing some Cuphead stuff when I did the Best of Battles, or was it the yeah, we did. Yeah, we did do a Cuphead, but I don't know. Maybe. Oh, you know why? Because we did it on the stream, and I hadn't opened up the YouTube channel, and I probably ditched the file a long time ago because the audio was kind of. It could have been one of those things. But we did do a boss battle that had Cuphead. So now I'm going to dedicate this listen to Cuphead, and now we're going to do this. So this is called Hell of a Time. All right. This magical kind of jazz big band vibe. Listen to that bass player, man. He is cooking. You know, the big band thing is so magical because when I listen to, the way we do music and compose and everything right now, those big band arrangers and composers are so good at doing arrangements. And if you really listen to this, the big band, the power of the big band is going to be the horn section. And the horn section covers everything from, the clarinets and all of its iterations, tenors to bass, trombones, saxophones, from bass to soprano, trumpets, and if you really listen to the arrangements on this, it's such an incredible expose of covering all the elements of a composition, a la like if it was a band, bass player holding down this line, except that might be the trombone player and or a bass or I can't think right now, but it's just I'm imagining this arrangement and stuff like boom 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 bum bum boom boom bum bum. It's just so cool, and then they glass it off with that great xylophone sound, and of course the piano playing. But number one to me, anytime I ever listen to this kind of big band, light big band or big band jazz kind of composition, is the bass player. The bass player in all of these bands was always the guy that kept the burner going. And what I mean is just keeping it hot. And that he's like the drummer, just doesn't give up. This is all orchestra, pure. Jeez. that is just unbelievable. You guys just experienced with me. You know, it's like when I listen. It's like when I listen to Streetcar Manifesto. There's just something different about that era of big band performances and stuff. I mean, it was all in your face and live. Nothing in there. There was no electric nothing in that thing. In other words, there wasn't even an electric guitar. So that's a xylophone. That's the piano. That's a complete brass section, bass, drums, and it's a sound that I miss. I really miss. I don't mean like I come from such an era where, you know, because I was, you know, already in my teens, you know, in the late 60s, early 70s, and really, you know, exposed to a lot of very unique music, and also by virtue of the family business. But this whole big band kind of vibe is just such a wonderful for me to listen to, because I, in my mind, could envision, like I closed my eyes and I could see the brass players and the bass players and everybody playing and stuff like that. You can hear the nuances of the performances, and it's just a whole different thing. But to me, as a composer, and I listen to this, I was going, oh my God, this arranger put together so much work. You know, all those notes have to be written down, right? So this is for musicians. You know, see, you know, and if you can write music good, you know, pencil to paper, you know, it's still a shit ton of work, man, especially when you've got harmonies to it. Sometimes, though, I remember watching my dad, you know, back in, you know, paper pencil days in the 70s, you know, when I was getting interested in what he was doing, and watching him write, you know, complete charts, you know, for strings and brass and stuff like that. And a lot of times I would watch what he would do, and sometimes he wouldn't even play some of the notes out on the piano just to hear him. He would automatically go, okay, next time is, I go, Dad, how would you know? He goes, oh, I'll read it back and play it on the piano, make sure I got it right. You know, the authentic days of creating music, that's all. Not any better, not any worse, just those days, you know. So, anyhow, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, let's see, what's next here? Next up, Max Payne 2. Wow, where do I know Max Payne from? They had some kind of game on one of the consoles. I forgot what it was. There was a console. Why do I remember a Max Payne game? I never could figure it out or something. What's it? How far back does Max Payne go? You know, so, does anybody remember? I can't. 2001, huh? Yeah, because I remember somewhere, I don't know if it was one of my daughter's consoles or something, but there was a Max Payne game on something. I could never wrap my head around how to play. I'd never played it before, and they didn't have any YouTube then, so there wasn't like I can go do YouTube, like, you know, hey, how do I get past this thing? So anyhow, so let's do this. This is Max Payne 2, the OST, number 9, Poets of the Fall, Late Goodbye. All right. Thought for a second, had a little Bon Jovi-ish going on there.
In our headlights, staring bleak, beer cans, deer's eyes, on the asphalt, underneath our crushed plans and my lies. Lonely street signs, power lines, they keep on flashing by, and we keep driving into the night. It's a late goodbye, such a late goodbye, and we keep driving into the night. It's a late goodbye. Your breath hot upon my cheek, and we crossed that line.
Love the strings of this.
You made me
A lot of breathing.
When I was feeling weak and we crossed that one time, screaming stop signs, staring wild eyes keep on flashing by, and we keep driving into the night.
This is a great track.
It's a late goodbye, such a late goodbye, and we keep driving into the night. It's a late goodbye. The devil.
All right, so before we get into this next kind of, it's like a bridge section coming up, maybe with a combo bridge solo. God, I really like the song, just the acoustic rock nature of it. The guitars are recorded so well and so clean. Anybody know who the singer might be on this? This guy has a great voice. You know, I don't have a big ear for recognizing, you know, many singers. That had nothing to do with me. I didn't even have my hand on the button, guys. This machine just went off on its own. I swear to God, I'm so sorry. Gotta turn it off. Jesus, what the hell was that? Oh my goodness. Anyhow, let me get back into it before I change the mood of everything. It wasn't the machine. It's the machine, you see. Oh shit, it has a life of its own. Anyhow, I love the acoustic. Remember, it opened up automatically. I was thinking, oh, this has got kind of a Bon Jovi kind of vibe. And that acoustic rock element that they have going through here is so clean and so well done. But this guy has such a great tone to his voice, and his performance has the right soul for this track. But what I love as well is the string dynamics behind it. You know, the string arrangements are very nice and supportive. They're very wide open. They're not bold and out there as much as they are just a really super supportive part of the arrangement. But when it comes in with the drums and the bass, I was expecting maybe it was going to get a little darker and harsher guitar-wise, like maybe adding some distorted or punch to it. But it just leveled it up. Just the addition of the bass and the drums levels it up. And they didn't add anything more there. Really like the background vocal harmonies on this as well.
Grins from ear to ear when he sees the hands dealt us. Points at your flaming hair and playing hide and seek.
Nice move there in production.
I can't breathe easy here. This our trail's gone cold behind us. Till in the John mirror you stare at yourself grown old and weak. We keep driving.
Nice how they pulled out that distorted guitar. Gives it breathing room.
Goodbye, such a late goodbye. We keep driving to the night. It's a late goodbye, such a late goodbye. We keep driving into the night. It's a late goodbye, such a late.
Don't hear that often, but it's a really nice little fade on the track. So, like I had said when I first opened up the track, and I had said again in the second stop, it was that kind of Bon Jovi acoustic rock kind of element to it. But his tone, obviously nothing like Bon Jovi. It's just what it reminded me of. And then even in that bridge section, I said, okay, we're going to power up into a bridge. I don't know if it was going to be a solo or if they were just going to power it up. So at that point, they introduced the distorted guitar sound, and but they didn't give it this front and center. They just gave it more of a sizzle part of the arrangement to drive home that bridge. And they continued on a little bit as they started to get into the hook. But what I really liked is when they decided just to cut those guitars out, and it once again opened up the acoustic aspect of the performance, gave it some breathing space, where you can really also appreciate some of the finger work of the guitar playing that was being done. You know, the core of the arrangement was played on this side, but the guitar that was overdubbed on this side was using a little bit more liberties with some voicings, some double stop playing and slides that was going on. But this guy's voice is killing me. And the harmonies are very well written. Somebody just, let's see. Oh, Shadow, thank you so much. How's it, brother? So apparently Marco Saresto was the vocalist. Yes, very 90s, very comfortable, but you know, just still that kind of getting into the rocks, you know, kind of vibe. You know, so it wasn't like an acoustic song in the sense that, you know, it was laid back around the campfire. It still had push to it. It still had mystique to it. It still had mysterious to it, you know, like, you know, kind of, I guess, like the game. I don't know much about the game, so, but yeah, that was a great suggestion. Okay, guys, stand by for 1 second. I'm going to kind of parachute into looking and make sure I have something here. Let me see here. Okie dokie dokie doke, dokie doke doke. Give me a second, guys. I'm moving around a little something in my system here. Okay, next up is going to be Iron Golem from Dark Souls. Okay. From the soundtrack. Okay, here it is. I want to make sure I got that right. Bromagusnia. Is that the one, the OST right here? It sounds like Dark Souls soundtrack. Should I just put in OST and see what happens? Okay, yeah, came up with the same one. All right, so here it is. This is for you, man. Let's go. Turn it up a little for this. Wow, something massive must be happening during this track. Is this like a boss fight or a battle track? This track hasn't let you go once. The second this track started, it was always on your back, on your shoulder, clawing at you. You know, with the kind of arrangements that composer Motai Sakuraba. The way the composer keeps you pinned, and like I said, it's like this constant clawing at your shoulders, like you're just not getting away. 2 steps forward, 1 step back in this battle, creating a lot of tension with a lot of that gun. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like you're struggling through molasses in a really hard kind of like getaway, or in this case, a really gnarly battle. You know, and it has that just that real super heaviness, but there's a lot of that you know, it isn't extremely blown out and blood gutsy, if you would. But it's definitely targeted on weighing you down and just really kind of dragging that out. Yeah, scared. That's a very good way to put it. See, this is very maniacal and scary. The two bells. See, there it is again. Okay, so it just repeats that after that. Yeah, just dark and scary and maniacal and, relentless. I think maybe that's another good word for it. It was a little thin in the what the composer could have done in depth, but I think that had to do with the sounds he was working with, number one, and number two. I've mentioned this before, how some composers, you have to think about this, is that if you're writing for one of the gnarlier boss fights, especially something as dark and as heavy and visceral and disemboweling style of music against whatever is happening in action. Lately, I've been having people leaving comments going, "Oh my God, I had no idea this song was either complex or all this because I've only heard it against gameplay." And then when you have gameplay, you have this music behind you, but if you have the explosions or the implement that you're trying to kill the monster with hits and it explodes and all this sort of stuff, you have all this over percussive sound design that's going on for the game that a lot of times not using a lot or filling the music up to be so rich and so fat is a smart thing. You just want it to set, a stage and all that. So there was a little, if I was to say, as dark and heavy as this was and how incredibly well it was composed, it sounded a little reserved. That's, that kind of a little slightly conservative in it. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts, and I do love donuts. I like dollars too. That could have been what was happening there.